What's up, guys? It's your girl TaZhaneClaude here. I'm back with another video, and today I'm excited to talk about this topic. This topic took me 10 years to get to the point where I understand what my purpose is, what your purpose is, and everyone else's purpose is. If you have been someone like me who had been searching 10 plus years, y'all, my life, I searched 10 plus years. I watched countless of YouTube videos, read several books. I spent over a decade trying to figure out what my purpose is. I spent thousands of dollars on courses, trying this, trying that, and still could not find my purpose, guys. I'm talking, it left me depressed. It left me trying to unalive myself. It left me feeling purposeless. I came to a point where even I was like, you know what? Who cares? YOLO, I'm just gonna live for the day. I don't even care anymore. I try to make myself not care. But the reason that you clicked on this video is because you want to know your purpose, and today I'm going to help you figure out what your purpose is and how to start being more purposeful. So if that's what you came here for, then keep watching. The first thing I want to do is give honor to God, because this is how I came to my discovery of what my purpose is and what your purpose is. So I cannot mention anything because I tried everything. And when I say everything, I tried everything, even different spiritualities. And it wasn't until I started walking with God that I figured out my purpose and your purpose and what a purpose even is. And so I got to give honor to God. That's how I came to this discovery. So let's get into it. The question is, what is my purpose? That's why you're here. What is my purpose? I want to go ahead and answer this question early in the video, and I'm going to go more into detail. Your purpose and my purpose is to fulfill our God-given assignments here on earth. It sounds so simple, and it is, but yet people, we hear this and then we go searching and searching and searching, but this is what it is. Your purpose that you've been looking for, that you've been spending thousands of dollars, that you've been searching for decades, that you might have been depressed like me from. Your purpose is to fulfill your God-given assignment here on earth. I don't know if you're watching from a different religion. I don't know if you're watching from a different spirituality. I don't even know if you're watching from a different part of the world. Even somebody in China, somebody in Spain. Your God-given purpose. Your purpose is to fulfill your God-given assignments here on earth. God has given everybody an assignment. And I like to say that what's the purpose of anyone on this earth living if you're not fulfilling your purpose? That is your purpose. And then if you want to go deeper, what I'm saying is to fulfill your God-given assignment here on earth. And I want to say this, the reason that we struggled, because you know your purpose, you just found out your purpose, please write it down. Don't be one of those people who you just watch the video and go on to the next one. Because I want to tell you guys, some of you guys, I'm telling you this and you're going to go on to the next video because it ain't something that you want to hear. But you're going to remember it, and I pray that God puts it on your heart and on your mind. Because as you go through your whole process and your cycle, and you come back to this video, or you come back to someone saying the same thing that I'm saying, because they have the same spirit operating out of them, which is the spirit of God, and they're going to repeat everything that I just said. I pray that you come to revelation, come to the realization that what I'm saying to you is truth. So the reason that we struggled, time past, we used to struggle, but we struggled. The reason that we struggled to know our purpose is because we think we're going to only have one assignment for the rest of our lives. I feel like that was the most confusing thing for me. Is I was like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? It's one thing, what is your purpose? But then also we think that it's just going to be one assignment for the rest of our life. You could think your purpose is to be a musician. Okay. That's a owl. That's a tunnel. But what else are you going to do while being a musician? Your whole purpose ain't to be a baker. Your whole purpose isn't to own this one business. What assignments do you have through that business? And then still within that business, you can have family assignments. We have different assignments. Jesus didn't have one assignment. He had multiple assignments. Jesus and God performed miracles, signs, and wonders. These are three different things which Jesus performed here on earth. So we don't have just one assignment. We have multiple assignments. That's throughout the Bible, and that's here on earth. So stop thinking that you have only one assignment. What you were assigned to do when you were 10 years old isn't what you are assigned to do. Let me say that again. What you're assigned to do when you were 10 years old, you're not assigned to do when you're 15. You're going to have a different assignment. What you were assigned to do when you were in your school age, you're going to have a different call, a different assignment when you're a young adult and then an older adult. And what you do in your younger 20s is going to be different from your later 20s and so on. So with each decade, you're going to have different assignments, even within a year. Instead of making New Year's resolutions, ask God, what do you want me to do? What is my assignment for this year? That is how you be purposeful. That is how to be purposeful. You have to be fulfilling your assignments. Okay, let's move on. We have, and I have my notes here. We have looked at purpose all wrong, which has left many of us confused, feeling hopeless, and unenthusiastic about life. So I like to give real world examples. If you watch any of my content, I like to relate to others and give people real world examples and put them in the shoes. Help them to see, speak in parables the way Jesus did in the Bible. So think about this. Think about class, a classroom, class, and think about a student. What is the purpose of the student? Answer that. What is the purpose of a student in a classroom? What is the purpose of a student? Some may say to learn. Some may say to do their work. Somebody might say to pass the class, work on their assignments, listen to the teacher, pay attention. It's a lot of different things. Show up on time. It's a lot of different things that somebody may say is the purpose of a student. And guess what? If you said something along those lines, you are correct. Without the work of the students, students would still receive assignments. Students will still receive the assignments, and the teacher would still teach because the teacher serves their purpose. The teacher is doing their assignment. So again, the student doesn't have to do any work, but still is assigned assignments. It is their choice to fulfill their assignments and do the work. God is assigning us to different assignments. God is still, just because we didn't fulfill what God assigned to us when we were in our earlier stages of our life. I don't know what age you are watching this, but think about in times past. That might have been 10 years for you. It might have been 20 years for you. It might have been 30 years for you. God assigned you to different assignments in your times past, whether you fulfilled and carry out and executed those assignments or not. Those assignments were still assigned by God. Okay. So if the purpose of the student is to learn, do their work, listen to the teacher, and work on their assignments, how do we determine whether a student is purposeful or not? How do we determine it? How do we look at a student and say, that student is purposeful and then this one is not? The definition of purposeful is to be meaningful, determined, intentional, in regards to an aim or a goal. In regards to an aim or a goal. Somewhere where you're trying to go. So I'm going to say that again. To be meaningful, determined, and intentional. It's whether or not the student fulfills their assignment. That's my definition of what purposeful means. It's whether or not the student fulfills their assignments. Students receive hundreds of assignments per semester. Each assignment is a continuation of the next. So I think about algebra or math or something like that. I like to use the order of operations. In order to know all of the order of operations, you first must learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and use parentheses. You must know how to do all those steps first. Then you're going to get to the point where you're able to order them and be ordered and then follow along. So if a number is outside of parentheses versus in, you need to know all these rules. So before you can get to the point in math where you know how to do the order of operations, you must start with the basics. Everything, even as you go through different grades in school as a student or life lessons, it's all a continuation. Why is that word not coming out? It's all a continuation of the previous thing that you learned. Even when you're playing a video game and you go to the next level, you're taking things that you learned at level 2 to get to level 3. I think of an 8th grader and picture yourself in the 8th grade. You, the student, want to be a 9th grader or in high school. That is your God-given desire. To go from 8th grade to level 1 of the next season of your life, which would be high school. So the next season, the next block would be high school, which includes 9th grade, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So that's your next season, because your seasons have different levels to them. You're trying to get to the next level, but it's also going to be a new season. You must do the work and pass the test to get to the next level. And in real life here, you must pass the test that God puts you through. That God is going to test you. And he's going to test you before he elevates you to your next assignment. I know you've heard that before, and if you haven't, that's the thing. Anytime you're saying, God, I want increase, I'm trying to get here, I'm trying to get there, I'm trying to get there. Where you're at, you need to be tested. There's always, even when we think about school, keeping it on topic. When you're at, you done completed all the work, you still need to be tested. The end of the year test to know if you're ready for the next level. You're ready for the next season. Let's say you're an 8th grader confused on the purpose of your assignment. Are you going to do the work? So you're 8th grader confused on the assignment. What is my assignment? You might be asking that now. What is my assignment then? You told me my purpose, but what is my assignment? So if you don't know your assignment, are you going to do your assignment? No, you're confused trying to figure out your purpose. If you don't even know your assignment, which some people, they're so confused, they're not even going to be purposeful. They're not even going to know their purpose because you don't even know your assignment. So no wonder you're confused. No wonder in times past you were confused. I was confused. I didn't even know the assignment. I ain't know assignment from my purpose. I couldn't have been purposeful. No wonder I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like a chicken with its head cut off. Wow. Because I didn't know the assignment. And still, we're going to each have to go to God in our own time to figure out what our assignment is, because each of us have different assignments. It's based on what God has for us. So I don't know your assignment. I know your purpose. I know my purpose, but I don't know your specific assignment. That's between you and God. This right here is a video right here is leading you in a path. God has put me in your path. God had you to click on this video, it to be sent to you, so you can figure it out, so you can go in the direction of God. God is going to tell you your assignment. I don't know your assignment. That I don't know. So back to what I was saying. Are you going to do the work? No, you're confused. You're trying to figure out your purpose. So you're probably going to refuse to do the work because you don't see the point. Some of it is we know our assignment. We know our assignment, but we don't want to do it. We're like, God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work with them. I don't like them. I don't like that family member. I don't like them friends. I don't like those people. Or God is saying the assignment right now is to get close to me. God, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't want to fast. I don't want to pray. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pray for them instead of gossip. I don't want to still try to keep a positive mood when I'm angry. Still try to, I don't want to watch my tongue. I'm used to speaking the way I want to speak. You don't see the point of it. Some of us, we don't see the point of the assignment. It's not fun. It's hard or challenging. Your assignment might be right now to work on your heart. Heal. Forgive. Let go of bitterness and resentment. Y'all, these things I have to do every single day. Especially if you're in the same situation, or let's say somebody keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work not to build resentment. So I don't hold it in my heart. So one thing about me, if I do, I'm like, God, God will expose it to me. Because something recently happened. I was like, oh, God showed me that I had resentment in my heart. And you might be through a training point in your life. When you're going through hardship, it's training. Because right now it might be family members or friends, or it might be co-workers, or I don't know who you're around. But in the future, the way God works is He's going to take what you went through. That was training. It was hurtful. We don't see the point because we don't see what's up ahead. We don't see the point of the math because it don't seem like it's adding up right now. But when God has you in algebra or calculus, you in the future, you're going to be dealing with calculus type of problems. God's trying to get you to do the algebra, and in the future you're going to have calculus type of problems, a calculus type of life, something that's so complex. Some of this is not even going to be math. The subject is going to change. It's chemistry. I took a chemistry class recently, and a lot of the stuff I learned, algebra and different things like that, I used in chemistry. So we look at our assignments today and say, it ain't in the direction, it ain't putting me in the direction that I want to go. What's the point of it? It's useless. What's the point of forgiving them? What's the point of healing? What's the point of learning to communicate? Because God has a future for you. God has different assignments. I told you it's a continuation of previous assignments, your new assignments. It's levels to it. If you're trying to get to level 10 or level 100, you got to go through level 1. You got to do the work. You can keep playing on level 1. You can. I played some games, and when I play certain games, certain video games, there are some people who, as you keep playing the game, you earn coins. And so after you earn a certain amount of coins through playing the game, which is free, then you can use those tools and use those coins to buy tools. But there's some people with money, you can buy some of those tools straight off the bat. Just because you buy that doesn't mean that you earn or pass the test to get to the next level. It just means you got these tools and you don't know how to use it. You got the assignment, but you're not executing it. Just because you got the right stuff don't mean you know how to use it. Just because everything is around you or you got the assignment doesn't mean you're executing it. It isn't until you do the right thing that you're going to fulfill that assignment and make it to the next level. So I suggest if that's you trying to skip your assignments, or you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to heal. I hear right now is somebody who, I think of like a legacy, a marriage. Like you're like, why I got to heal? Why I got to deal with that emotional stuff? Why I got to learn to communicate? I grew up in a household they don't communicate about nothing. Why I got to learn how to communicate? Why I got to learn how to express my feelings? Why I got to learn how to recognize my emotions and then be able to express them? Because God has a healthy marriage in your life that He's planning for you. Not only that, He wants your children and your children's children to have healthy marriages and families for the rest of your bloodline. That's why you got to do the work. That's why you were assigned that assignment. And until you do that work, until you execute that assignment, you're not going on to your next. And you're not going to have the legacy of abundance and wealth until you do that assignment. So some people, like I said, they don't see the point of it. It's not fun. It's hard. It's challenging. And you don't know who you are. You don't know your role. So what's the point? You don't even know who you are. You didn't even know you don't even know who God says you are. And I have another video about this. You're still calling yourself what they called you back in the day. You're still dealing with, even though you might not call yourself that emotionally, internally, you still see yourself as the weakling. Because everyone else was holding it in. And when they said hurtful things to you, you cried. And they call you the weakling. So you walk around thinking that you're weak, when really you're strong. When really you're normal. When really you're healthier emotionally, because you get to express them. But you got to let go of that label. So certain things that we're holding on to, and certain things that we're holding on to that's holding us back, that held us back. Again, I want to keep reiterating that. You know your purpose. I just told you it's to fulfill your God-given assignment here on earth. So now we're at the point where we need to know our assignment. And that's to go to God. I'm going to keep saying this. It's to go to God. And if you haven't taken some notes, listen. I don't know if everybody is watching me on a YouTube app or something, or get a pen and a paper, a sticky note. You need to write this down. I don't know what you're doing if you're not writing it down. Write it down. Don't be like nobody else. This is how you retain information. Write it down. Tape it on a wall so you can think about it. Tape it on the wall. Let it be a reminder for you to go to God and ask Him questions. Don't be one of them people that just listen, because you're going to forget. There's going to be, you're going to go through the cycle again and again and again. Okay. The point is, and the question was, so what's the point? What's the point of the assignment? The point is, you don't need to see the future to do the work of the present. As long as that 8th grader procrastinates and refuses to do their work, they will remain in the 8th grade. They will not progress any further. Procrastination is fear. Sometimes we procrastinate because we just don't want to do it. But for the most part, procrastination is fear. So I want to read this again. As long as that 8th grader, you, procrastinates and or refuses to do their work, to do your work, you will remain in the same place year after year, over and over, time after time, season after season. And you will not progress any further. We got to do the work. What is the work? To fulfill our assignment that God gives us. That is the work. That is the work. What is the work? To fulfill the assignment that God has given us. That is the work. There's physical work. There's mental work. There's emotional work. There's psychological work. There's even with physical work, there could be physical, like financial work. It could be working on your health. It could be working on your beauty, how you take care of yourself, self-care work. It could be all these different types of works and different assignments that God can have you. God can say in this season right now, you need to be working on the outside. You need to be taking care of your hair. You asking God to make my hair grow, but you're not washing it. You're not greasing your scalp or oiling your hair. Or some people, I don't know what race you are, but it's different ways to take care of your hair. Some of you say, God, I want to be in these different places. God's saying, listen, I done told you to trim those nose hairs. Son, I done told you to do that. You're trying to ask me to send you to certain places. And them certain places that I'm going to send you, you got to be groomed. I think of a bride and a groom. How do you expect to be a groom? How do you expect to find that wife and you won't even groom yourself? We always hear about the wife preparing herself for marriage, but we don't talk about the groom. How do you expect to be a groom and you're not groomed and you won't even groom yourself? Trim your nose hairs. Get a hair off your neck. Do what you need to do. I don't know what it is for you for God, but these are things that you need to do. God is calling you to start taking care of your health. Go walking with God. God didn't say you got to go from a couch potato to a 5K. Now, there might be something that God may have somebody else to do. It's actually a thing called couch to 5K if you look it up. But God is saying, no, just start by walking with me, walking and talking with me. When I go running, I like to sing walking and talking, walking and talking, walking and talking. Because when I think about being tired as I'm running, it makes me want to stop. So I say walking and talking, walking and talking. And that keeps me running. God is not the author of confusion. Satan is. The cause of your confusion is Satan. The enemy wants us confused about what our assignment is because he knows it will keep us misaligned. You might have been misaligned in times past. You might have been misaligned today, a few seconds ago. But I'm trying to help you I'm trying to help you to get aligned. I'm trying to help you get aligned today. I want y'all to hear me because it's a lot of people up here. I'm going to keep using it. I'm the teacher here today. God is talking through me. I worship God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I am saved. I have been baptized. It's a shirt I actually got baptized in. I'm consecrated. I just want to say these things because I don't want y'all to go on different videos. And you're going to find people that say the Most High. They don't mention nothing about Jesus. Then the next second they curse. I don't want y'all to do that. So I just felt that on my spirit. The enemy wants us confused about our assignment because he knows it will keep us misaligned. As long as you're not aligned with God, you won't step into the promises of God. You'll be like Moses that never made it to the promised land but helped others. You're going to work all these 9 to 5s, making your boss, the company, the owner of the company, the CEO, but the owner of the company, the stakeholders. You're going to keep making them money. But you'll never reach that level of success until you're aligned. You'll never see the promises of God. You can be like Moses, helping others to their promised land. But you're not going to make it if you're not aligned, and Satan knows that. Satan can tell you, go ahead and read that Bible. But make sure you're unaligned though. God, the thing is, we just have to be aligned. We can do all these things and still be unaligned, and misaligned. What are we doing right now? We're going to be aligned. And to be aligned is to go with God and go talk to God, figure out what your assignment is and what he's asked for you to do in this season, on this level, on this day, and execute it by doing the work. I'm about to give y'all a quiz up in here too. Matter of fact, quiz break. I'm going to give y'all a quiz. If some of y'all are mad right now because you got to take a quiz, let go of that old self. Let go of those old labels. A lot of people I figure out that when they don't like quizzes, they feel dumb. They don't like quizzes because guess what? I've met people who I sat in chemistry class with and they called themselves dumb. And then I was like, well, do you take notes? They was like, no. And then they saw my flashcards. They said, oh my gosh, you better use Quizlet. I was like, You're calling yourself dumb, but yet you're not doing the work. How are you going to remember what it is that someone's teaching? So you won't do the work, so you keep attaching these labels to yourself. You got to quiz yourself before the teacher quiz you. You got to study. You got to write down notes. When God tell you something, write it down. Record it. When God give you a dream, record it. Write it down. Get it in a journal. The best students, the A students, the students that get an A+. Y'all went from a D in English to an A. The students who get A's, they go ahead and do the work before the teacher asks them to do it. Not the assignment. When they assign it, they go ahead and do the work before the teacher says, oh, it's due. So quiz yourself. Take notes. Take color-coded notes. Study. Make flashcards. Take a sticky note and put it on the wall. So we're going to come to this point where we're on the quiz. Okay, what is your purpose? Answer it. It should pop up on the side. What is your purpose? Okay. If you said to fulfill your God-given assignment here on earth, you're correct. If you said anything else along those lines, you're correct. If you didn't say anything along those lines, go back and watch it. But I'm going to go to the second question. What is the work? What work? When I say you need to do the work, what is the work? I'm going to give you time to answer that question. It should pop up again. What is the work? The work is to execute the assignment. To execute it. Whatever God is asking you to do, execute it. Do it. Straight up, just do it. Okay? So you know your purpose. You know the work. What the work is required. You're going to go to God. God is going to tell you the assignment. Write these words down. Purpose, work, assignment. Okay, and I'm bringing this to an end. God is our teacher. It is our role to listen to the teacher by being obedient. It is our role to pay attention to each lesson the teacher teaches and prepares for us. Remember, after each lesson or unit of lessons comes a test. You're going to be tested. You keep failing the test because you ain't learning what you're supposed to learn. God ain't like the school system, the public school system, where they see someone failing and he just passed them on. Because no, why? You want to tell you why God don't do that? Because he know in the end, if he just pass you on to the next level without you getting the skills that you need and learning the lessons that you need to learn, in the end, you're going to die. You're going to fail. You're going to get hurt. You're going to end up in places you don't need to be. So God loves us. So he can just push us on. He ain't got that quota to meet. So after each unit of lessons comes a test. You have quizzes. You have regular tests. And you have unit tests. To make it to the next level, we must first be tested. To go from 8th grade to high school, the student must pass the test. We must, and this is for our real life, we must pay attention and stay focused on God. We must learn. Right now, I'm going to tell y'all for the rest of y'all lives, I don't care what age you are. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You're going to have to learn new things for the rest of your life. You don't ever want to get to a point where you're stuck in the same place year after year. Stuck in the same bitterness, stuck in the same hurt, stuck in the same thought patterns. You need to be dedicated to learning. You're going to have to learn stuff for the rest of your life. Y'all, it's people that thought they knew everything and technology came about. The internet came about. You don't think it's right now, it's people now where everything is online. And people that don't want to learn get left behind. Right now they're asking, and I know it sounds irrational and crazy, but in certain companies, they're They're for older people, yet they tell these same older people, hey, I'm gonna need you to log on your phone or go to a computer and fill this out. They're not even sending things through the mail anymore. And a lot of people are like, well, they're 80, they're 90, they're this, they're that. They're like, well, listen, you need to freshen up on your skills, or you need to get your grandchild to do it. Something. We're going to have to learn stuff for the rest of our lives. Even when it's complicated, even when it's complex, even when it ain't fair. That is your competitive advantage. When things aren't fair and you do the work anyway, when people have mistreated you since you were born, or your family, or different things like that, when you went to all these jobs and they treated you horrible, even though it wasn't fair, that's going to be your competitive advantage. Because when you get tested, when you're back in the same situation, when you're in other situations that God has you in, and people try to do the same thing, when they roll their eyes at you, talk behind your back, gossip, try to get in your head, say different things, try to set you up, it ain't going to stop you. You just going to see it and you're going to keep going. It don't even faze you. We must adapt. Remember that? We must adapt, change, and transform. We must be obedient. Practice obedience. We must do the work of fulfilling our assignments. How? By doing what is assigned to us. How? By doing what is assigned to you. How may you do the work of fulfilling your assignments? By doing what is assigned to you. When we do that, we fulfill our purpose as a student, a disciple of Christ, sheep. By doing the work that is assigned to us, that is the work. By doing the work that is assigned to us, we fulfill our purpose. By doing the work that is assigned to us, we fulfill our purpose. We're going to repeat this 3 times. This is scientific. By doing what is assigned to me, I fulfill my purpose. We're going to say this 2 more times. By doing what is assigned to me, I fulfill my purpose. Last time. By doing what is assigned to me, I fulfill my purpose. And I want to say this, and I'm about to bring it to this closing. We feel confused, feel like we're not walking our purpose, and it's spiritual, guys, for us. You can feel it. You can be trying to do all these things. There's people right now who have multiple businesses and they still feel like they don't have purpose. It's people who have millions of dollars and then have tried to take themselves out this life. There's people, the same people like who got no money and are broken. Then there's people that got millions and billions of dollars who done tried to take themselves out of this world. Because they don't feel like they have a purpose. Just because you getting money don't mean you walking in your God-given assignment. Don't mean you're purposeful. Doesn't mean that you're walking in your purpose, working in your purpose. Just because you got money don't mean you're doing what is assigned to you. Somebody, and I want to talk about it in the opposite way. Some stuff that people are going to try to put burdens on you. They're going to try to give you their assignments. And God, you're going to try to fulfill the assignments that God has given you. You're going to work on doing that, what God has assigned. And people are going to try to give you extra assignments that God didn't assign you. And they're like, why don't you go to this college? Or why don't you work at this job? Or why don't you work this hard? Or why don't you get this type of overtime? They're going to say, why don't you go out and just date this person, or make these friends, or that's still your family. Why don't you just go out and hang with them? That's not my assignment right now. God got me doing something else. You ain't got to tell them that. But it's going to be people, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you. As you're walking in your purpose and working in your purpose and you're doing what God has assigned you to do, everybody not going to see the point in your future. Everybody, they can't look at you and tell your future. They can't look at you and tell where you're going. I worked at plenty of jobs where they would try to compete with me. I'm like, baby, go ahead and take that position. I don't want that. They'll try to compete with me against supervisors. I'm like, baby, who said I'm about to work twice as hard for an extra dollar? Or certain stuff where people just was working, trying to go against me just for likes. I'm like, I ain't come here to be liked. You don't even know what I'm trying to do with my life. People are going to say, well, why aren't you doing this? Or why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing that? Because that's not my assignment. But they'll see in the future. In your future, they're going to see. But they ain't none of their business. But I'll do this because in case some of you guys aren't saved, I feel to go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to do a quick salvation prayer. Father God, I ask that you come into my heart. Jesus, come into my heart, come into my mind, come into my habits, come into my ways, come into my lifestyle. I want to be aligned. Right now I'm misaligned. I want to become closer to you. I want to know my assignment. I want to be purposeful. I want to make it to you. I want to live the all of eternity with you. So I ask that you come into me, come into my heart. Walk with me. I want to walk with you. Show me how. Help me. Send the angels near. Send the angels in the skies. Help me. Humble me if you must. Because I want to be better for you. I'm broken. It feels complex. It feels like too much. But God, help me. And I receive you. Even with the bondage and chains, I receive you. Even if I'm at 30%, I receive you. Oh, 100% of that 30%. In Jesus' almighty name. Amen. I want to say congratulations to you guys. Hell lost another one and heaven gained a new one. Okay, so I'm going to read the summary. Our purpose is in God. And so are our assignments. Throughout life, we will have a multitude of assignments. Me and you. Our role is to be great stewards, aka students, and to execute the assignments. This is called doing the work. By doing the work, we are fulfilling our assignment and being purposeful. Despite what anybody else got to say, their views, judgment, or even us, thinking that we should be doing more in this season than we are doing, or even less. By doing the work, we are fulfilling our assignment and being purposeful. To be purposeful, you must be intentional, meaningful, and determined. So as long as you live, keep doing the work. For as long as you live, keep doing the work. For as long as I live, I will keep doing the work. For as long as I live, I will keep doing the work. For as long as I live, I will keep doing the work. And executing. So as long as you live, keep doing the work and executing the roles and assignments God has for you. Then you will always, and I mean always, they say never say always, always, and then you will always be a person of purpose. Be found doing. So to be purposeful, to be a person of purpose. That's what I want to be labeled as. A purpose. She got a purpose on her. She be purposeful. A person of purpose. Keep doing this. Rewatch this video. Watch it every month. Watch it when you're cleaning the house. Listen to it. You ain't got to view it. You just view it. You can listen to it while you're doing anything else. While you're cooking. Replay it. Watch it with someone else. Then watch it with another friend. So it can keep getting your mind. Take more notes. Go deeper. Spend time with God on the same topic. And watch, you will become a person of purpose. Watch you become a person of purpose. That is your purpose. Listen, I want to tell y'all this. I'm going to reiterate. Your purpose and my purpose is to fulfill the God-given assignments that God gives us. So in closing, that is your purpose and my purpose and your grandma's purpose and your grandpa's purpose and your brother's purpose and your sister's purpose and your best friend's purpose and your co-worker's purpose and your aunt's purpose and your uncle's purpose and that cashier's purpose. We can go on and on. That is everyone's purpose, to fulfill their God-given assignment here on earth. Okay? So that is all for today. My name is TaZhaneClaude, and y'all have a wonderful day.